It's Bernice Leatherwood.
Say it a little louder, ma'am, please.
Bernice Leatherwood.
Yes, ma'am. What brings you out to the clerk's office today, ma'am?
Well, we're going to be picketing the fact about John Conyers, but I'm here not only about John Conyers, I'm here about how our voting process is done, and that it's not right. We're not really being represented according to our vote. I believe that the problems that we have in the city of Detroit is not that the people don't vote. It's that the votes are really messed up in the fact that they don't know who's voting and who's not voting, and they don't know who's running. I didn't like the idea of a write-in person being elected mayor of the city. If he didn't qualify for the requirements to run for mayor, he should not be sitting in that office. Secondly, I believe that every vote in this city should be counted openly public. That should be public information. How many people voted and who voted, what districts voted, who voted in that district or in that precinct. All that should be public knowledge. If we know exactly how many people voted in a precinct around the city, all the districts, we would know whether the votes are honest or not. The absentee ballot, I think there should be a connection between the absentee votes and the challengers. The challengers should know exactly how many absentee voters are there. If the voting is counted, they should be there to see those absentee ballots. All that should be public knowledge. It should not be something that's here. Detroit has been almost destroyed by crooked politicians. I call them political hustlers. Okay? That's what I call them. I call them political hustlers. And that's what they are. Because if you run for office, and once you get in there, you're in there 15, 20 years doing absolutely nothing and making big bucks. And our city is going down. No, I think we need to not only limit terms, we need to start screening these people for why they want to run for office. Term limits is very important. But if you don't run for office to make the city better, get you a private job. Don't do that on the backs of poor people and the people in this city that really love Detroit. People love Detroit. The ones that stay here, they're here because they love it. And then when you have political hustlers who come in and run for office, for the money, not so much for the city. Now, she's been in office, city clerk, over 10 years. We still hear this every election. They're stealing votes. They're stealing votes. They're stealing votes. That should not be. If a person votes, that vote should be counted. And if you don't qualify to run for office, you should not be made exceptional. There should be an exception to it. There should be no exception, whether you're white, black, or blue.
Ma'am, if you could be so kind, can you speak on the events and the problems surrounding Mr. John Conyers?
Mr. John Conyers has served this city and this state for many, many years in Washington. I do not think it was fair for this situation to come up about he not qualified for the primary. If he had the signatures, then he should be qualified to run. I can't very well speak for Mr. Conyers as a whole because the only thing I know is his reputation, and he's been considered as one of the best representatives for the city of Detroit since I've known him in office. And I do believe he's sincere and he loves his job. I don't believe that he's one that would really exploit his people because of his job. So I think John Conyers deserves more respect than this. To disqualify him for a primary is really, it's not good. It's not good. And I think that if he, they're out there already.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, they come out.
Would you like to join them?
Yeah, I'm gonna be joining them.
I thank you, ma'am. I love you.
I love you too.
This is the people's perspective.
Where y'all been?
Here we is.
Okay.
Here we is.
Okay.
I have the camera down, if you don't mind. I'm trying to get the people's perspective. I don't know if you mind being recorded. I'm just trying to get some feed so that I can share it with the public so that they can get a true perspective of what the problem is and why you are out here today.
Oh, so who you with?
I'm with the people.
Oh, okay.
I represent the people. This is the people's perspective. May I?
Yeah, well, we're here basically because we're tired every time it's election time, and every time it's time to vote, there's always some mess going on with the county,
The city clerk?
the city clerk. You know, and that's just another way of disenfranchising the people from being able to vote and know that they vote counts. So this is, this is too important just to let it go. And time and time again, the same issues come up about if petitions are valid and things of that nature. So we're just here to say that we want a federal investigation. We want the Attorney General to come down and investigate this mess. And if there's any inconsistencies, if there are any type of malfeasance going on, we want it corrected.
Would you like to speak for Nan? You or Mr. Williams, Mr. Reverend Williams? Would either of you like to speak for Nan, or were you out here for? Thank you kindly.
Yes, Reverend Williams. That's more than
Yes, sir. I thank you very much, Reverend Williams. I love you. Thank you kindly.
You can't be love. You can't be love.
What do we want? Justice! When do we want it? Now! What do we want? Justice! When do we want it? Now!
Oh, you're fine.
We want to thank everybody for coming. We are assembled here today, residents of the city of Detroit, activists, community, and also as the National Action Network. We're assembled here because we're very, very concerned about the sacredness of registration, of the right to register to vote, and certainly what is happening with the Department of Elections. Now, there have been concerns, not just in the last week with Congressman John Connor, but there have been concerns before in regards to the issues of absentee ballots. Now that those concerns are being strengthened and even more embellished when it comes to what has happened with the Department of Elections. I want to read to you the letter that the National Action Network sent to the United States Department of Justice. Currently in Detroit, we believe there is a threat to the sacred right to vote. The division of government responsible for issuing and protecting the voter file released information last week to local media that clearly gave the appearance of inconsistencies in the process of registration and validation. Our organization is engaged in a local and national voter registration campaign. This looks to be a voting rights issue, and it is very concerning to us as we celebrate or prepare to celebrate the 50th anniversary of the passage of the Voting Rights Act. We are requesting a full and thorough investigation into the Detroit City Clerk's office. The National Action Network is also requesting a full and thorough investigation in the Bureau of Elections. We must protect the sacredness of the transparency of elections, and we certainly would welcome the support of the Department of Justice. I sent that letter to the Department of Justice Barbara McQuaid, and also I sent that letter to Attorney General Eric Coleman. I received a message from Attorney General Barbara McQuaid this morning stating that she will be sending this information and she will engage her investigators in this issue. Once again, let it be very clear. It is definitely an inconsistency for the city clerk to validate that one was registered on last year and then come back and say that that person isn't registered. I want to make it sure that it's also very clear that we are not here to say that we are supporters of John Conyers. We are not here to say that we're supporters of Morris Sheffield. We are here to say that we are supporters of a clean